And so this is my early morning chat, or I don't know, the purge of my nighttime feelings. I don't know. But anyways, I'll probably talk again later because it's freaking early. But there was some stuff I wanted to talk about. I decided, my hiatus with the marijuana is up today. I haven't been able to move my head for days. And I know some people are just like, oh, take some Advil, take some Tylenol, and I'll take Tylenol if I have a really bad migraine, migraine Tylenol or whatever. But, that's maybe once every 6 months or something. And, I know people who take that stuff every day. And working in the ER, I saw the effects of some of the stuff, it eats your liver up and it just fucks your organs up. And I just saw a thing yesterday even where it was, what is Advil doing in your body? It has a liver all dissected. I didn't go in and watch it because I already know. But yeah, the only bummer is because since it's legal here, that gives the government, say over. So I know that they're like, spray the chemicals. And I know that's what creates a cough. My thing is like, I'll stop and clear the cough, because I want to tune into my body. And if it's messing up in here, like right now, my stomach, oh my gosh, it's totally under attack. So I'm stopping the coffee mate again and see, because I don't take that many chemicals, I'm on, well, what I would consider more natural, but you can't get away from the chemicals. So the coffee mate, I don't know. It's the only thing I can think of that's hurting my stomach so much, because our GI systems are completely under attack. It's how we process everything. So, and mine is sensitive. I can pick up on every little thing. So it's just very painful. And so, doing that little experiment and stop the coffee mate again and see if my stomach starts doing better. Because I don't know, maybe I should have done my kombucha more vinegary, because the vinegar really helps with your, the good bacteria, the bacteria that we need in our system. So it promotes that growth, because otherwise we get just overrun with bad bacteria. And that's why we have so many GI problems. You can look up about Stephen Gundry, how he explains it and stuff. But anyways, I know that like even with our organic food, they say it's organic, but it's just how they process, it's where they put the chemicals in, how they get away with their wording. Everything is wording for them. That's why they had to develop their language so they can manipulate us with words. So everything is about, that. And being in a state where it's legal, it's just so the government can control it and they make money off of it. And I'm sure they make money off of what they tell them that they have to put in the soil or whatever. I just know how the whole system works, and it's all just a bunch of bullshit to try and kill us, so, or keep us at least sick while we're alive. And but oh my gosh, my head and my neck, I haven't been able to move it for a couple days. And today when I got up, I was just like, no fucking way. I can't do this again. Another day. I'm just going to go get some joints. Why am I doing this to myself? Because that is what I use to get off all the medications to begin with, right? Because it's got great, it's good for pain. And so I was like, why am I doing this to myself? What am I trying to prove? Who am I trying to prove it to? I'm going to sit here and suffer to prove what? I don't need a joint. The whole thing is I don't like to be habitual. My hair is going to drive me crazy again today. The whole thing is just turning so white here. And the way this light hits, I feel like it looks like the whole front of me is bald. And so every time I look down, it's because I can't see details. I can just see color and stuff like that. So it just looks weird. So sorry, I keep messing with my hair, but it just looks strange all the time. And another thing too that I was thinking about, this is chirpy, is that I was watching this old movie this morning. Yeah, I watched Reacher. Oh, speaking of food too, let's just throw this in there. Because normally I'm just watching all these old scary movies, you call them scary movies, like, unless you understand what old scary movies are, there's no comparison to new scary movies. Because it's not, it's not slaughtering and sex and stuff. It's different. So I've been watching all those still, but I did take that break and watch Reacher, which I loved Reacher. Oh, and I've been still, that Pam and Tommy thing. Oh my God, I watched the new episode of that. God, it just breaks my heart. I just didn't, I mean, they're just showing this complete, I mean, a side of her that I never knew about. And it's just, oh my God, it's heartbreaking. Oh, I just see so many heartbreaking things. People send me these, heartbreaking TikToks. Oh my God, people are suffering so bad. But in Reacher, speaking of the food thing, he even used ketchup and salt, like a little packet of ketchup and salt to scrub off old, I don't know what they were saying it was. But the one guy in the show who's more natural, like he likes to eat salads and stuff, and Reacher's always eating junk food. He's like, you put that in your system. Think about how many, I mean, there's people who fucking eat that all the time. Ketchup and salt, and it can be used to clean. And, just like Coca-Cola, you can get battery acid off of your battery. And people consume it. So that's what's going on up in here. So, yeah, that's why you got to really tune into your body, man. Because we're eating, and toxins and pesticides and cleaning solvents, they're filling us full of chemicals. They're trying to probably just turn us into some sort of human waste factory. But anyways, so yesterday when I was watching, I finished it this morning, but I started it yesterday, but it was pretty long. And I just got too tired and went to bed. But there's this old actress in it, and her name's Lee Remick. Probably, unless you're older, you don't know who that is. But I was just looking at her. I was noticing her eyes, and I was thinking, I wonder if that's the same color as my eyes. And the weird thing is, so it got me started thinking about eyes. And I was thinking, that's so strange because no matter what, you can't see your own eyes the way other people see them. We can only see our eyes in a reflection or in a picture. We can't really see our own eyes the way other people can look at us and see our eyes, because it is, your eyes are the window to your soul. Like, your eyes show who you are, essentially, and your color of your eyes and everything. I don't know. I just was like, that's so weird, because I don't really know what my eyes look like, because I can only see them in a picture or a mirror or something. I can't see them otherwise. And then I was thinking, it's weird, because that is really what life is all about. We can only see ourselves in reflection of others. We can't see ourselves without coming and doing this projection of self so that we can witness ourselves. That is, it just kind of all fit in together all of a sudden. It was like, oh my God, that's so trippy, because yeah, you can't see yourself without seeing yourself through someone else, just like you can't see your eyes without looking through a reflection. So it just made sense, everything about, life and incarnating and souls and all that stuff. So I was like, that's so weird. My neck, it really hurts so bad. Oh my gosh. So anyways, and then last night too, oh my God. So I was sitting here, it's really been shitty. Like, there's not been any sun or illumination disc or any of that stuff. We're just sitting over here in this little, I don't know. I feel like we're under a fucking termite tent. And it's weird, the whole fucking thing. And where I'm at, I'm not in the city, so it's not just a conglomeration of houses. You're going down state highways, and then there's just like turnoffs all over the place, and you turn off and you go up, and they're little neighborhoods, they're little like pockets of houses. And I would say probably mine is around 200 houses maybe, because I think there's 350 houses in our whole, whatever it's called, but it's not on just one side of the street. I don't remember what it's called. They name these neighborhoods, So mine, I would say right where I'm at, it's probably 200 houses or something. Like my street, the streets back here are kind of cool, because they just go, and then they just what is that called? A horseshoe. They just horseshoe back out onto the main street. So you can't really get lost. And so mine is like about a mile, the whole thing. And the houses aren't touching like in the city, you know, they're a little further apart. Like we have more yard out here. So I don't know. I would think there's probably maybe 80 houses on my street, maybe. I was trying to think. Maybe it's like 60. Yeah, could be 40. I don't know. Even 200 houses seem like a lot. Like if you drive back here, you wouldn't think like, I don't know. I don't know. But anyways, so on mine, like when you first come in, there's one of those horseshoe things. And then the second horseshoe thing, that is mine. And then off of that horseshoe thing, the first one, it doesn't have any streets off of it, but mine has other streets going off of it, like little circles or whatever. So last night, you know, it's been dreary all day. And it is just like I've been feeling so sick with my head and my neck and not being able to move my head, and then my stomach. And I just feel super just drained, so drained. It's weird. Even if I sleep, which, you know, I know that all that stuff is in our head, you know, how much sleep we need or whatever. We should only need to sleep as long as we sleep. When we wake up, we should be okay. You know, and I mean, I'm not one of those people who just wake up normally all the time. Or if I wake up, it's just for a quick second, you know. I know there's I used to have horrible insomnia, you know, the point where I'd be laying there for hours at night and get up. You go try and read a book. You go try and watch TV, like that kind of stuff. I don't have that anymore. I think that was more like when I was in the rat race and your brain's just going and you got stuff going with your kids and, you know, you're just like, ah. So I had a lot more problems then. Once I was kind of just, you know, on my own, I suddenly could sleep really well. It's only, you know, these past, I don't know, definitely once Stella started having probably just even during when Winston was, he didn't have as many, I mean, he wasn't in pain until the end. But Stella has been in pain the whole time, and she's not dying, so I don't know, everything's so weird. But it would have been probably around then when my sleep started getting so jacked up. Definitely during 2020 or 2021, when everything went crazy. And I started sleeping way less, and that's where I started being like, okay, we don't need as much sleep as what we think we need. And, you know, I think I'll be fine. I've gone plenty of times on 3 hours. It's more in our head where we're, oh my God, I'm so tired. I need more sleep, you know? And then that happens. But right now it seems kind of energetic, like a drain or something. And I know I'm picking up on people's energy because it's been confirmed to me. Like there's been some weird stuff that I'm not going to say, but I'm telling you, there's some weird stuff. So I know that I am, you know, a conduit or something, and I know that probably part of the feeling of so drained is because I'm picking up on other people's energy. But anyways, I don't know. You know, all I can say is it's definitely been a struggle, right, during this time. And you know, that's why it's important to have your practices in place to take good care of yourself. And so yesterday, it was just one of those days where it was just like, oh my God, I was uncomfortable. I'd try and lay down on the couch, and then Stella would come in and start crying at me. And I was just like, oh my gosh, it was just a kind of a yucky day, and it was weird. Cars kept going by, which is really unusual. It just seemed weird. And so I got up, you know, and I turned on some music and some dancing, and I tried to, you know, kind of do that. It was like, oh my gosh, every joint, every muscle in my body hurts. And so then I started kind of picking up and cleaning up, and I took some boxes outside because I'm trying to get some boxes together because, you know, when I start doing my renting and my renovations here, I'm gonna take my stuff out, like my clothes and stuff. And so got boxes I've been saving, so I decided I was going to take those boxes out because I'd had some deliveries. And when I went out there, there was all of a sudden sirens. You don't ever hear sirens out here. I mean, that was weird too when I moved out here, because especially the last place that I lived in the city, it was close to a hospital. So it was sirens all day long. You know, it was a couple miles from the hospital, but oh my gosh, it was sirens all day. And so to not have any sirens in them when I moved in here too, like there was never planes, nothing. Every once in a while you'd hear some military kind of thing, and you can tell the difference. I mean, most airplanes you don't even hear. Like when you see them, you don't hear them. There's a lot more city noise and stuff, I guess. Out here, there's noise, but it's more like dogs barking, people on dirt bikes, and guys out doing their saws and stuff. You know, it's a lot of that kind of noise, but not so much of the airplane noise. So that's why it became really obvious to me when it started being like all of this military planes, because we didn't normally have that. And then, so these sirens going, and it was a lot of them. It wasn't just one siren. Because I was like, man, is there like somebody dying? What the hell's going on? And then I was trying to look, but I couldn't see over other people's houses. So I was trying to listen. Where are all these sirens going to? And they definitely pulled into my neighborhood. And there was so many. It was just, ah, you know. And I was like, oh my gosh, weird. Must be somebody who's really sick or something. Like, that's so weird. And Stella even stopped everything she was doing and looked at me like, what's that noise? And so, you know, I finished what I was doing, and it was so fucking cold outside. That's one reason why I don't even want to go outside and do stuff. I love to be outside and do stuff, and that's one reason why Stella's always crying at me. She punishes me, but I'm not a cold person. I don't like to go out in the cold. You know, I'll go out and do what I got to do, but I'm not going to just go out like, oh, I want to just go build something today. You know, it's fucking cold. You got to get out your saws. You got to get out all this stuff. So, and it's rainy and just, it's just eerie. So we come back in the house, and I was like, I should ask my neighbor, because, you know, I was kicked off next door. I have no communication to what's going on in the neighborhood. But she's got all sorts of contacts and stuff. So I was like, I should ask her, you know, what's going on. Because I didn't smell a fire. And there has been a couple of houses that burned down in our neighborhood. And maybe insurance, I don't know. But or it could be the homeless people. I mean, there's a lot of squatters out here. Because it's vacation homes, and a lot of the Canadians, once they couldn't cross over, that they their houses were getting squatted in. I know I talked about this before, but anyways, so I came in and I was like, oh, I should ask the neighbor what's going on, if she knows why all the sirens, and then I started doing something and I just forgot about it. And so then, I don't know, like 10 or 15 minutes later or something, I got a text. And I go and look, and it's her. And she's like, we're locked down, stay in your house or something like that. And I was like, why? What's going on? And she's still, you know, messaging me. So apparently her friend in another city saw on the, must have been a special report or news or something, because she saw it on the news. And she called to see if she was safe. And so apparently the street, I don't know, it's probably, I don't know, it's real close. It's right by my house. Like, I could tell how close it was by the sirens. But, and I've talked about this. I've talked about the people out here. And so anybody who's been following me, this should be no surprise, because I've talked about this. This is like a confirmation. So apparently, one neighbor started doing a bonfire or something, and the other neighbor got mad. So they started shooting at each other, and then with guns, real guns. And then the cops came, and then they shot 2 cops. So then we were in lockdown, and they had the SWAT team and all of this stuff going on. And never once did they drive down our street and say, stay in your homes, we're under lockdown or anything. No, I had to hear it from a neighbor who heard it from somebody on the news. So if we tried to leave, we were blocked. We couldn't go anywhere. Our road was blocked. And, you know, and I don't want to be out while people are shooting. Like, I don't know, who knows? I mean, are they running and shooting? Do they have hostages? What's happening? I don't know. And so, this is going on for however long, it was hours. And then the helicopters start going. And it's so unnerving when these helicopters are so low. And I don't know, I think it's unnerving no matter what. But I don't know if it's more noisy because the trees, I don't know. It's very unnerving. And so the helicopters started. And so then I was like, oh my God, what is up with the helicopters? And my neighbor said, I think it's probably the news. I was like, oh my God, the desperation to get a news story. And just kept going and going and going and going. And it was so low. So it kept going over my house, obviously, because the houses this is going on is just right there. And so I was like, where I'm at, then it was the people across the street from me. It was the people behind them this was going on in. And so the helicopters are going and everything. And finally the helicopters left. And so, I don't know, I guess arrests were made or something. I don't know what all was happening back there. And I don't know, I heard that the cops were okay. I don't know how the cops were getting shot. I don't know, like, if the neighbors are, like, behind their cars shooting at each other. I just don't even know. I've said before, it's like the fucking Wild West out here. And everybody's got a gun. And that's why I kind of like stay to myself. I was already kicked off next door. I had said about that one neighbor was like, you need to go into hiding. You're in danger. Now you are a target. And, I like, well, if that's what's meant to happen, that's what's meant to happen. I don't have any place to go hide from, these psychopaths. But that is what it is like out here. People who don't, like, how do you solve a problem? Get your goddamn gun. Just shoot them. It's like, what? People are just, I don't know. And besides the fact that people are just so on edge right now, people's lives are falling apart. They have got no patience for anybody else. And that's why any of us who have awareness that we need to move that energy towards unity, towards love and stuff, and pull that energy with us, because there's a lot of people who are real stuck and stuck in their pain, stuck in their tragedy and stuff. Like, they don't know how to get out of it, and they're frustrated. And I don't know how many people were hurt. I don't know if anybody was hurt. Well, I know the 2 cops were really shot. It was like, oh my God, if they're having a standoff, is it with their families? They're going to be like mass murder, suicide going because they don't want to go to jail and the world's ending anyways. It's like, oh my God. So I have no idea what the outcome was. I don't watch the news. I don't watch TV. TV, I saw this morning too that the Cable Guy is coming back. Like, I don't know if it's going to be Cable Guy 2, Cable Guy movie, Cable Guy new series. I haven't seen anything about it. But it could be, I don't watch TV. So I mostly watch YouTube, and I skip all those commercials because they're almost entirely drug commercials. Big Pharma, or they've got a lot of commercials on. It's all their commercials are, like the woman who is the CEO, and she is like 35 years old and she needs to wear diapers, but they don't show in her professional attire. Commercial like that. A commercial, oh, they love the commercials, but you can't tell everybody's androgynous. They're totally pushing that. Not even just androgynous, but you can't even tell what nationality. I mean, they want to just blur us all into one just massive, because their thing is AI. Their thing is technology, and they are trying to take us over. These people, they don't care about nature. I mean, they've got people convinced, like I could say, oh, I'm going to go get some joints. And there'd be people thinking I'm the drug addict while they're sitting there popping, pharmaceuticals day and night and buying them off the counters or, anything. And they don't even think of that as being drugs. That's how much people's minds are manipulated. They think a plant is a drug, and they think the drugs that they are destroying their system with are okay. You know, people's minds are so manipulated. So, I don't know. I'm curious to see the cable guy thing. I don't know what if it's going to be on a channel or something, because I don't have um, channels. All I have is the internet, and then I'm on, some with Hulu, Netflix, and but I don't watch series too much. I was watching the Pam and Tommy thing, which is so freaking sad. Oh my God. It's so sad. Oh, it's just disgusting how the paparazzi did that to people. It's so invasive. It's so intrusive. They have no business being in people's business like that. People, just because you go and you're in a movie or something, all of a sudden everybody gets to know all your details of your life. It's just rude. And then, and how disgusting people are. And this is what I've talked about so many times. We want to sit here and go, oh, it's the cabal. Oh, it's the deep state. Oh, it's the aristocrats. Oh, it's these, which, they set the tone. Yeah, they've set the tone a long time ago. And all these souls come in here to play out these things, to see, it's to witness yourself so that you can understand yourself. So it is, you are a projection of self so that you can go and experience. And the the whole thing is that how many people have played a dark part. And just like in this Tommy and Pam show, well, their life thing, and I mean, I don't know how accurate it is even, I don't know all their business or whatever, but this guy taking something personal and private like that and then trying to profit off of someone else's stuff. It's like, God damn, you want to freaking go profit off of, sex escapades? Go make your own damn tape and sell it. Why would you take someone else's? It's like, that kind of stuff is just disgusting to me. It's super, super disgusting. I'm so disgusted with these kind of people who, it's just like, don't care. They don't care about other people. Like, they don't have any empathy or compassion. And that is what we are here to learn about, is those kinds of things, because that is what moves us out of judgment into acceptance. But, the people who just, and see, I'm super judgy on that. And I know it's a soul thing. I know it's not real, but that energy, I don't like it. I don't align with it. I guess maybe that would be better words. That's, all the stuff with their words too. Trying to express yourself using their words when their words were created to manipulate us. Their words were spells. They used them to create. And, like I've said, it is no mistaken when, they don't want people to speak other languages and stuff. And why, when you're speaking other languages, that there aren't words to, like, there's a lot of words in English that they don't know how to express it in other languages. So, I mean, right there, that should show us, like, why. They want to, tell us, like, oh, well, we've just got so many more words for you. But then why are you using the same words and they have two different meanings and the same words and they're spelled one letter off? And no, it's all manipulation. It's all just to fuck with our heads and to give us limitations in how we communicate, because there's so much misunderstanding. But definitely that energy, that people are tapped into that dark energy and stuff. I just don't align with that. I feel like I'm on the other, it's a pole. I'm on the other one. I'm of the light. And, I'm not appreciative so much of the dark. And I understand the dark creates the light. Like, for that soul to do something really horrendous like that, then they will see the light through the dark. If you start understanding, how a soul works. And like I've said before, they may not see it while they're living in that particular life, playing that particular part. They may have to go to the after review and to see it clearly. But their next life would more represent that newfound knowledge, if that makes sense. So I understand it's all a process, and but also we have to feel our feelings, we have to process our feelings, and then we need to move out of that judgment, and understand that there has to be this balance, there has to be this dark, horrible stuff to help us to see the light. And it's just so much of it. But I don't like people who hurt other people. That's why I liked Reacher. He didn't like it either. He didn't like people who hurt other people. And he was, he took it to physical assault. Like, if you did something to hurt somebody, then, you have to deal with Reacher. I was definitely, when he was kicking some ass, I'd jump up, punch, oh yeah, I'm ready for justice. It's time for justice. And I can't, I'm excited for that part, I'll tell you that. And to move out of this energy, and, it's just heavy, so heavy. And I hope, that this stuff in the neighborhood, I don't know, is that going to just set a new tone? Are they going to just be more of this chaos with these people? But that's why I just keep to myself. Yeah, I have made the friends I believe I was supposed to make, or the acquaintances I was supposed to make. And, this wasn't somewhere where I was going to come and, you know, find my tribe. This is a place that I was coming to heal myself. And, all of these people, they have to purge out their stuff, because this is the end of this cycle. The cycle is ending. And, you know, I don't know. I've said before, I don't believe you can get into the age of Aquarius carrying baggage. I believe this time is happening so you can heal yourself, so you can lighten the load, so you can get into the age of Aquarius. There still will be healing going on, but we're going to have like the healing centers and stuff, but it's going to be people who are focused on wanting to heal. Just like you can't make a drunk stop drinking. They have to want it. So that is what we're trying to get to, that point where people want help. They want to feel better. They want to live better. That is when we start going in that other direction. So, I just know this energy, this dark, chaotic, evil, I don't know all the words, but we all know what I'm talking about. That energy won't be in the age of Aquarius. That it won't. It wouldn't be a different age. If it was it would just be the same age. And we're leaving this age. This age has ended. It ends with the cycles of the lunar cycles, or solar cycles, or however you want to call it, cosmic cycles. It's ending. So the new age is going to be completely different. It's not going to be an extension of this one. There's just going to be that tunnel, that entryway. And that's why I talk about, you're not going to be able to get out of the tunnel if you're carrying a lot of baggage. Being in the tunnel is the time for you to release your baggage, to want to do better. Oh, and I saw this guy yesterday. This friend sent me this. Oh, what was the guy's name? Man, I can't remember the guy's name. But he does something that I talk about, how important it is to heal your old wounds. And you have wounds from other past lives and stuff, and how they'll manifest into physical symptoms. So he, I guess, helps people who have physical symptoms figure out what it is that they're holding on, what's manifesting out there. And he was showing this one guy, and the guy he had these big rashes on his face that he would get, and like a dermatitis, real itchy. And he couldn't get it to go away, and he couldn't figure out what was wrong. He was using all these different natural products, and he was just so confused. So he's talking to this guy, this healer guy, and the guy starts questioning him. He knows the right questions. So he starts questioning him, and gets to the point where the guy is holding on all of this resentment and anger towards his parents, because parents got divorced when he was 6. He didn't want to make the same mistake, so he's having all this judgment, holding on to judgment. And the guy was saying, when you hold on to judgment, especially from the time you're 6 months old until you're 40 years old, all of that time while you think, oh, my parents failed, You are putting that onto your own energy. If your parents failed, then what are you? You know, are you part of their feelings? So it's all of these unresolved feelings that people carry. And then once he got to that, all it took was getting to the point where he could see it and understand it and to change the dialogue in his head. And the rashes went away. And that's what I keep talking about. You got to go in and you got to process your pain. You can't carry it with you anymore. It's time to release it and to go in and find, where is the source of my pain? Is it from this life? Is it something that happened when I was a child? Is it something that happened in past lives? Is it a reoccurring event that happens over and over? You got to go in and look at things in a more deep way, not in a blaming, it's them, it's them, it's them. Look at you. Look at how it affects you. And then you can start understanding what you're supposed to learn so you can release it. Because in the release, it lightens you. Like I've said before, it is like a lightening the load. You become where it just feels like you could float. Well, I mean, I say that. Like, I feel good and happy on like that. Like I don't feel burdened by painful events that have happened in my past or something. But yeah, that's, being in this hibernation of dark energy right now, that does have an effect. But it's not the same kind of effect as carrying burdens from, like if I was still holding resentment towards my dad and what he did and, my mom or whatever, and feeling like, they weren't there for me. They were barely there for themselves. So how can I hold that against them? They had their own issues. So I can't put that burden on them and then carry that. Because there is so much of, the process of when you are developing as a child, the whole process. And there is that point where you get into, I would be a better person. I could have done more. I could have been more if my parents would have been this or that, and people get really stuck there. And that is what he's talking about, is that getting stuck because you're putting all that judgment on your own energy. If your whole family's life was a failure, then what are you? And so you carry that feeling of, unworthiness and unlovability. And that is why you have to release it. And it all goes to this loving yourself. Once you start to love yourself, I'm telling you, it doesn't matter if other people don't love you. You can accept it. You can see, a lot of people are just broken. They just have wounds. They are misguided in how to heal. Just like I've said before, I believe psychology is a manipulation. It keeps you stuck. It keeps you trapped. It's more of a, get on some drugs and, go to counseling forever and ever and ever. And, I just think spiritual healing, you can't, it is it's a direct line to self, because people think like about God, but you are your God. Your avatar is a projection of your higher self, of your oversoul. So that is your God, essentially, because that is who is the creator of your life, the creator of what your experience is. You're just the avatar. You've got the emotions and the feelings. And when you tap in, you start to understand, like, oh, if I'm listening and I'm tapped in, they're leading me on a path that isn't painful. And you start to see things very, very different. So it's all a process. And, that's why I just keep trying to talk about, to help give people that, that it's holding that light on the path that I walked, and I'm holding the light and just trying to show people, this is the way you can go. And it has good results. I've found great results for myself. But everybody, like I've said, we're all tuned in differently. Like I don't understand how other people perceive the world. I know how I perceive the world. And the way I perceive the world is obviously different than a lot of other people. But there's somebody out there for everyone. Like if I don't make any sense, you know, then if somebody doesn't resonate with me or I don't make sense, there's somebody out there that would resonate with you, that you would understand where they're coming from, that what they say would make sense. So you don't have to force anything. You don't have to go in and be like, wow, you know, this person has great advice. I'm going to go in and I'm going to listen to them even if I don't understand a fucking word. No, there's somebody out there you would understand because it's all on resonance. It's all on vibration. So you just have to keep looking and, you know, and this should be a journey. This should be where you are looking for the truth of who you are, the truth of this world. And, you know, spending time trying to do some research into yourself. And like I've said before, you start researching into reincarnation, near-death experiences, our true history. I heard somebody, and this was sent to me by somebody, and you know, like I've said before, there's nobody who is in my family, I think, that know anything I talk about, because the stuff they say to me, I know nobody comes in and watches or whatever, or if they do, they'll just maybe come in and watch one and go, oh, okay, she's crazy. But yeah, they don't really know where I'm coming from on anything. And so I was sent this video, and I went in, I couldn't finish it. And it was super religious, and it was super, you know, it was just about it says the stuff that I say. Like, she was saying the stuff I was saying, except for certain things. Like, you know, we turn your life over to Jesus kind of stuff. And that's where I'm just like, see, nobody really gets, like, where I'm coming from, what I'm talking about. You know, so I know there's people out there who get it, but that's why, you know, if I had a bunch of people around me who got it, I wouldn't be doing this, right? So anyways, yeah, we'll see how this day goes. Hopefully there's no more standoffs or whatever shootouts out here. We'll just see. I know, you know, the world is full of chaos right now, and we just have to, you know, get through it. And this is the time to work on yourself and just release old wounds and anything that triggers you. Just, if you get triggered, don't get mad at somebody. You know, bless you, my child, for that trigger, because that's your opportunity to clear up some old junk. So, you know, just stay with the fight. We're going to get through this. The corporations will go down. So, anyways, let's just see how the day goes.